everybody, and welcome to the 220 and the Shuts. It's crazy. This is episode 15, and this is the last episode I'm going to do before Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever floats your boat. Those best wishes are coming to you. Lots of retirements in the department of late, and of the School of the Arts in general. My best wishes go out to all of y'all. Joy, if you're watching, I definitely want to sit down with you at some point and interview you about all the wonderful years you spent at the College of Charleston, specifically those with me. My youngest was born in London, and I got this mug here to celebrate his him not being British. A lot's going on. I revealed last week that I've been working these crazy overnight schedule, which that's over, but I'm still waking up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning as I try to get onto a normal schedule. That happened today. I've been up since 3. It's no bother. I'm going to be driving down to Atlanta in the next few days after I get my apartment cleaned. I hate going on trips and coming back to a messy, disorganized apartment. So I have to get that done before I leave. Yes, I'm a little anal retentive, but hey, that's me. And I'll be gone for a little while, spending time with my wife and kids down in Atlanta and teleworking. So that's going to be nice too. Probably about a couple months or so. Other than that, folks, I'm about to turn 43. Which those of you watching who are on faculty, that probably sets you back a little bit. For those of you who went to school with me, you're probably telling me to shut up and stop reminding everybody how old we are. And for those of you behind us in age, whatever. We're going to revisit the rise and fall of the Shakespeare Project today. As I said before, these calls usually go on for quite some time. This is the second installment of probably a few that you'll see, and they're going to keep coming your way over the holidays and while I am in Atlanta, because I'm taking my travel drive chock full of all of these videos with me. So until we meet again next Sunday, post-Christmas, have a happy one with you and your family. My best goes out to all of you. Enjoy.
Todd loves to tell that story.
Well, I swear to God, if I didn't know,
he loves to tell it.
If I didn't know Kurt and know that he had played an amazing Caliban in Tempest before, I would have told you that Todd made the shit up and just like said that the actor happened. But I actually knew it.
Right. There's so much weird shit happened during our Tara and our time period. We had tons of active people, and I'm going to want to hear about each of your generations of what was the makeup.
Well,
and,
Robbie
the
is too. Yeah.
Rob, were we there at the same time?
No, I showed up in 2001.
Okay, yeah. So that was a year after I graduated 2000 and never really made it back, unless you were in Trojan Women. I did make it back to see Trojan Women.
I was not. Okay.
But he was in Titus when I got back from California, and Robbie and I were tight, and he was my Saturninus. So it was so much fun because I didn't know anybody else in the college, and I still wanted to just be on those stages and do that thing and we became the best of friends. We had such a good crew for that show. Smallwood was in that show. Blake was in that show.
Brent Lang playing Titus.
Yeah. I mean, and the set, which there aren't that many pictures of. I don't know but that set was amazeballs in the chapel.
Tara, did you see True West that Phil and I put up? So we got Brent to play, if you guys know the show, play Saul. But he could never get his name right when he introduced himself. So it was either Saul Kimmer or Kipper. And we would have to be paying attention so we could keep referring to him. So instead of correcting him, we just decided we would refer to him as whatever last name he decides to introduce himself as. And
at least he keeps it fresh.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. And it's normal Brent. He's like, Kim or Kipper, god damn it. How am I supposed to remember this? But yeah, working with Brent was awesome. So Allison, you were the first one on the call. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. And everyone, you will also get these questions. So you can start preparing. I got notepads for everyone. So I'm just going to pass these down. So Allison, what I want to know, so you graduated in 2015. Congratulations, you're officially the youngest person that we've had on these calls. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
But what I want to hear is there's multiple parts to this. How did you find out about the College of Charleston, or what drew you to the university? Second, what got you into the theater program? And I want to know what you're doing now.
Okay, and you can't make fun of me for my answer.
No, not at all.
What? This is a safe space, girl.
And I need that.
Called YouTube.
Well, the Chinese are listening, but that's okay.
No, they're allowed. I grew up in New Orleans, and I thought a lot about going back, but after Katrina, I was displaced. I lived with my grandparents in South Carolina, and I ended up graduating high school in South Carolina, and it was way cheaper to do in-state tuition. And I almost didn't apply to College of Charleston. I had never heard of it. And so a friend of mine was like, actually, you should look into the College of Charleston.
Girl, where were you in South Carolina?
Columbia, but I like...
Oh, well, USC and Clemson just pervade.
She's also displaced, so she probably didn't know all the awesomeness that was there.
It's true. I didn't even realize I didn't know how to apply. I'm also the first person to go to college, so I did in my family.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You know those kind of families actually want doctors, right? Doctors and lawyers.
No, I totally let them down. Total failure on my part. Total oversight.
By the way, I was born in Baton Rouge, so.
Family, we're like neighbors. I saw Charleston. My friend was like, you should check it out. I was like, well, okay. And so it was literally like 2 weeks away from decision day. I got accepted into the College of Charleston, and I looked at my mom. I was like, can we visit? And she was like, let's go. So I went, and I fell head over heels in love. It reminded me a lot of New Orleans. So I was like, this is it.
Totally.
And it ended up being perfect. Now, the cheesy part is that I've never not wanted to be an actor. I grew up, like, since the day I was born. There's never been another option. I don't know how to, I know it sounds so lame, but it's very true. And so I immediately threw myself into the theater department. But the best part about it for me was that they let me do more than just acting. So I also did lighting, and I did directing, and I did.
And you like all that?
Loved every minute of it. Yeah. And so I actually ended up, am I so different?
No. Not maybe with Tara, but not me. I'm digging it. Keep going.
And so I ended up graduating the College of Charleston in 2015. And I had an existential crisis, as always, we always will always, and I never not have one nowadays. But I said to myself, either I'm getting into my dream school for acting in New York City, or I'm running away to Disney World. And so I did both. I got accepted to Atlantic Acting School in New York City for the 2016-2017 year, but I had to have back surgery. Because I had to have spinal fusion surgery, and that's like a really invasive surgery. It's not just like so they allowed me to defer, and after receiving that news, I got accepted into the Disney College program for postgrad. And so,
wow!
I was like, oh, I'm going to play in Disney World. And so I got to save up money there, like learning hospitality and stuff like that. And I was like, this is going to go great on a restaurant resume one day. So I moved to New York, and I went to Atlantic Acting School, and I learned the practical aesthetics method, and that was a really beautiful education. And ever since, I have been light designing professionally up here and acting professionally up here and creating my own work. Me and my best friend Trevor, who also is in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead with us, started a theater company last year, and we just released a audio drama amidst COVID times, which was very interesting to navigate. But we've been creating our own work and putting it up, and it's been really, really fun. So that's what I've been up to since graduating.
I forgot. Yeah. So are you calling us from New York right now? Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm in New York City.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So,
and how's the back? You good?
Oh, she's great. She's doing awesome. Exactly. The surgery did exactly what I needed it to
do. In one of the previous calls, we were, and I think that episode is already out. We were talking about how it's really nice that we get a chance to. There was one call we talked about. Is even though we're acting track, we have an opportunity to do at least enough tech to appreciate our counterparts on that side. I know that I had tried to I tried to add scenography to get the lighting track, lighting, sound, scenography. However, we had a new scenography teacher who decided that drawing was more important than designing, and would just come in and create still lifes. He didn't think that we were all good enough artists to do renderings. I am not an artist. Like, I can draft like a mofo, but renderings, no. And I basically had to drop and be like, okay, fine. I'm just going to be.
Dude, we got computers now.
Right. Well, and they teach AutoCAD. Mark Copants was like pissed about that. He's like, no, they have it.
Yeah. Well, so that's so funny you should say that, because the only reason I didn't technically get lighting, I didn't graduate with both a performance track and a lighting design track, is because I refused to take the CAD class.
That's funny.
I wanted to hand draft everything.
The other thing that was brought
what a talent.
You or a bastardized version of talent.
Oh, you stop it.
That's what we all are, though, right? Like, just own it.
Own it.
And
so on Monday, I did a call.
You gotta show a drawing. If you can go grab one, I want to see one.
I honestly, I don't even know where I would find.
So on Monday, just 2 days ago, I did a call. It was a reunion with the class of 2010, and they brought up some interesting things besides being cross-trained in different theater specialties. That we're one of the few programs that allow non-majors to audition for main stage shows and be a part of shows, to be able to dip your toes in. And that's how some of our folks, our fellow theater alum, ended up with us, which I think is also really cool.
Yeah, I wasn't a major when I did my first show.
Right. And so a lot of programs, they only allow, and that was brought up by one of the people on the call 2 days ago, that he had gone around and toured a bunch of schools and was interested in doing theater, but wasn't planning on majoring in it. And a number of schools said, oh yeah, well, if you're not a major, you're
can't
SOL.
get in.
Right.
And so he ended up at College of Charleston, and the rest is history.
That's so good.
Brenna, I'm really interested in hearing about you now. Wait, Tara, you look like you have something to say.
I do. I just want to know what Allison, because she did join the Shakespeare Project, or the Shakespeare
which Shakespeare Project shows did you do?
Yeah, or what is your love or interest of, the Bard?
Well, and so I think the only Shakespeare Project actual proper that I ever did was Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. And I was a tragedian, and that was a blast.
So Allison, we are the bookends of the rise and fall.
Oh, I see.
Of the Shakespeare Project.
John Paul and dude.
Well, okay, and let me just say, so I was in this Romeo and Juliet that obviously had a lot of
and it was on the
drama
main stage
and craziness attached to it. But I was playing, you guys will appreciate this because this is very Evan Perry. He did his own cutting of Romeo and Juliet, and there's a character that is typically cut out the character of the Capulet cook.
Yeah.
Pot Pan. And I played Pot Pan in the Apothecary in this first ever show. But my main character, so I was only the Apothecary for the Apothecary scene. I was Pot Pan for all of the other stuff, whether I was speaking or not, just like around, like, for, how he like weaves people in and out of things. But he decided that my backstory was a shell-shocked war veteran who had been a cook in the military and now has been brought in by the Capulets. So he literally had me wearing a pot as a hat.
You were cute. Right?
Of course. Adorable. Very young, clean shaved, young John Paul before he could grow a beard. Yeah, and so I had this hat as a prop, which I used in a fight as my weapon. And then I would always take it off whenever a woman passed and put it back on, always grabbing it by the handle. It was actually a great hand prop. I kept it.
It was so endearing. And a lot of people now will join the Friar and the Apothecary. Like, they'll double cast that. I mean, that's what most people do.
Right. Well, and Phil played the extra friar coming in to give. I think it was.
Friar, I remember.
Yeah.
Tripping over him.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyway, well, and Phil is the one that I smashed in the face with the pot. Okay, so we're gonna come back around because I have other questions, but I want to get to Brenna. I want to hear your story again. How did you find the college? How did you find the department? And what are you doing now?
Crying a lot.
Drinking whiskey for breakfast and
you're
not you, just like all of us.
Same. So don't feel alone. I actually didn't really want to do the whole college thing. I was never into the arts. My mom's super creative. My dad is an actor. And I was like, not for me. He's never around. I hate this. And he was working in Charleston at the time. That mom was freaking out about applications. So I just like threw on names of colleges that related to my life. And he was there. When I took my first visit and I took a tour of the campus, I just fell in love. It was like a city when I needed to be the city, but then it was the college when I needed that. I was really looking for liberal arts because I just like, I need to take it all in. I like it all. And I went in as a double major for secondary education and math. So I was going to be a high school math teacher. And then I changed to special education. And then my RA at the time was in the screenwriting class, and she had her final and she wanted me to audition for her. And it was just like a little 10-minute piece. And I remember Brent and Joy were there, who both knew my dad at the time because he was working in Charleston. So they already kind of knew me. And Joy came up after and she was like, "Are you a major?" And I didn't know like a major meant theater major. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking math." Like, I just sounded so dumb. And then she connected who my dad was and about like shit her pants because apparently they're boyfriend, girlfriend. She's my black mama, as she likes to scream at me always and flirt with my father. But yeah, that was my first piece. And then I did the vagina monologues, not through our program, but I started to get on stage a little more. Did Outraged for my first show with Alan and about broke my whole mind. Like, I didn't understand any of it. And then I think my second was School for Scandal. And then like from that moment when I made the decision to jump in, I remember Todd was my counselor at the time and he was like, "All right, if you want to be out in 3 years, just listen to me." And I think from the moment I declared, I was in every single, like, I had a credit on everything. I was either painting, lighting, I was in it. Like, I was doing, you couldn't take me away from that program. And then graduated, did RNG when I found out that he was going to play around with gender in those roles. I was like, this is my role. No one else is getting it. And then stuck around, I want to say a year, Robbie, and played around with you guys at Village.
Yeah.
And
something
then,
like that.
Yeah, and then moved
You
home
killed it.
after
You killed
the
it,
Scottish
too.
play, moved home. So those are my 2 Shakespearean shows. And then I was like, I'm going to go be funny in LA. And then I got to LA and I was like, whoa, I got to make money.